Okay, so keeping up with Terra Nova, I'm really late with this review, but I had to do some school stuff, so bear with me. Terra Nova episode. This is actually technically episode 3, since the first one counts as 2, but Terra Nova episode 3, Instinct. This episode was okay. I thought it was a little step back from the last 2 episodes, because this episode didn't really accomplish anything. Like, they, the major things they accomplished was the family roles, or the roles the characters play. Because I mean, some of the interesting storylines from the first 2 episodes were not addressed in this movie. Like, um, there's no moving forward on the Sixers storyline. There's no moving forward on how they got there in the first place through, like, they didn't really explain the time thing, or how they can breathe there, or how they're gonna deal with the asteroid that's gonna eventually wipe out humanity. I mean, there's just some stuff that, like, they just didn't address, so it kind of felt like a step back. This feels more like a filler episode where they're still just building on the characters, so that's what was a little disappointing with this episode. But since this is a character development episode, is this a good character development episode? I'm gonna say it kind of did that job okay. I mean, one thing they did that was really good was introduce the character of, what was it, Malcolm. Well, it's gonna be the character who's gonna act as the rival to shoot, I forgot the guy's name already. The main character guy, the policeman. Like, he's gonna act as the opposite love interest to the main wife character. I honestly don't remember their names, actually. Um, except Malcolm, yep, of course. But I like the fact they introduced Malcolm, and it's not like he. I like the fact that he's not a guy who can, like, rival the main character guy. He's a nerd, and you know, and there's more of a reason why the wife would not leave her husband. So that makes it a little bit interesting as to how they're gonna take Malcolm's character. Like, they're gonna turn him into, like, this sneaky bastard who's just, he uses these really cowardly tactics to get what he wants. I mean, that's the kind of character I think I see him as. But there was a part in this episode where the Malcolm and the police officer had a conversation. I think it was supposed to establish Malcolm as the villain, but it's a scene where the police officer just acts like a complete douche in front of, like, Malcolm. I mean, I didn't. It made me hate the police officer guy more, because it's just like, he has a point that the Malcolm probably, well, most likely brought the wife character because he had a relationship with her and he wanted to start a new relationship with her, renew the relationship. And it's actually, I don't really blame him. I mean, the police officer guy's in jail. I mean, he can move in if he wants. Like, how is the police officer gonna stop him? So I don't really side with Malcolm, but I know where Malcolm's coming from. But Malcolm also has a legit reason why he brought the wife over, is because, she's smart. She can help out Terra Nova. So I don't know, I think that scene kind of backfired by the way the police officer guy, the actor was acting. He acted too douchey. Like, it didn't really make me sympathize with him. That was one of my main gripes with this. My other main gripe was there was no real advancement with the sky and the sun storyline. Like, I know they're gonna have a storyline where they fall in love or some shit like that, but it didn't really advance anything except she kissed him at the end, which was whatever. And they also addressed the son's, like, other girlfriend, or that one girl in the first episode who he said goodbye to. The girl who was there for like 5 seconds. They addressed her, but they didn't really do anything with her. They sort of just mentioned her. The daughter, she didn't have an arc at all in this. I mean, like, I know they're doing another arc where she falls in love with someone else. This time a soldier. They didn't do anything with that either. I mean, like, all that happened was the dad said, "That's how you know a guy likes you, because the guy's gonna protect her in her house," and then that's it. Because the guy proceeds to get knocked out immediately. Immediately when the small pterodactyl things attack their house. I mean, like, no progress with that storyline. Even the little girl didn't have a storyline at all. I mean, that was a little sad. I mean, yeah, yeah. Or even Stephen Light. Oh, was it Stephen Light? The old guy, the guy from Avatar. He didn't even have a storyline either. Like, this episode really just did feel like filler. It felt like they didn't have a they didn't like develop anything in this episode. It just feels like they did it for fun. I mean, I don't really blame them since they're kind of this is early in the show, but it's kind of frustrating that some storylines didn't get developed. I mean, with this kind of show, you expect to be fast paced. Like it's always constantly moving. There's always character development, but nothing was really accomplished in this episode. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Like, you can comment. Like, feel free to disagree with me. I mean, I know my opinion might not be popular, so just feel free to comment. I like to hear other opinions. I'm sorry. One more thing. I didn't mention this in my last review, but I have to mention this. There's something I have a huge problem with, like, the casting on this. I mean, I'm talking about the family specifically because, okay, we have interracial couple, the mom and the dad. The mom is Indian, the dad is white. But the kids, I don't understand. They're supposed to look mixed, but the daughters look very Indian and the son is white. Is anyone else bothered? I mean, like, I'm looking at this and I'm just saying, how does that work? I mean, I'm they should all three of them should look mixed. I mean, uh I'm gonna leave it at that, alright? Because I just had to address it. Alright, I'm done.